the geometry section of the course, coordinate geometry, and we're doing question 12, which is the length between 2 points. Now the first thing you're going to need is you're going to need your length formula, and our length formula is in page 18 of our tables. If you haven't got tables, I suggest you ask your parents later on to buy them. So if you haven't got tables, put it in your journal to get maths tables, hopefully by next week, because you're going to need them. Okay. Next thing, you have 2 points. You call one of them point 1 and the other one point 2. What do we call these two ones here? X1 and Y1 here. Y2. Okay. Now you plug them in. What I also told you guys is you can leave it like this, can't you? You leave it blank, yeah? And then you fill it in using your calculator, okay? And on your calculator, press the fraction button. And what I'm doing right away is I'm just filling it in without anything in it. Now I'm going to go back. Now, what's x2? 9 over 2. Okay, x1. But look, 9 over 2 minus 3 over 2 is 6 over 2, which is just 3, isn't it? It's easy enough to do without it. And the next one, a half. Take away what? It's minus a half, which is plus a half. So 2 minuses would make a plus. I'll just do it for argument's sake. And what you get when you put that in? Square root of 10. Square root of 10. Okay, now that's technically a plus 2, so you could have it like this. Okay, 1 sec. Shh. So the minus, you don't have to use that. You could use it as a plus because 2 minuses make a plus, okay? Once again, same thing is still root 10. And if your whatever goes into your calculator obviously goes into your answer here, so you'd write that down as well down the bottom. Everybody cool with that? Okay, that's your answer. Yes, sir. No. Oh, sorry, x2 and that one's x2 and that one's x1. No, it's always x1, y1, x2, y2 every time. Watch some of the old videos if you want, it's always that way. Yes? No, I could call that x1, y1, and call that one x2, y2, and it'd still work. Okay? I'll let you know when order is important. It's not. Okay? Can we move on? Okay. 14. Did I pick 14 already? Nope. Okay, guys, I got 14 for you now. 1 second. Next one is 16. Now, can anybody tell me what does slash xy mean? The distance from x to y. Okay. Now, how am I going to do that? So I'm going to go back here. Going to delete all this. Everybody happy enough with that? Oh dear, deleted too much, didn't I? There you go. And so what's x2 and y2 for this one? That's quickly. What's x2 and y2? So x2 is minus 1. Minus x1 is what? Minus 2. What's y2? And what's y1? 3. Put that into the calculator, you get 3 root 2. Okay, so once again, just quickly do it there. This is my answer for the first part. Are you happy enough with that? There's no put a plus where? No, it's minus 1 minus 2. You're thinking of 1 minus minus 2, which would be 1 plus 2. You can't put it's only when 2 minuses are in between them you can turn it into a plus. If there's a minus 1 followed by a minus 2, that's a minus 3 all day long. Right? And if you're wondering where the answer comes from, that's minus 3 squared, and the other one is 3 squared. That's the square root of 18. Square root of 18 is root 9 by root 2. And what's root 9? 3 root 2. That's if you did it manually, which we don't. Have to, isn't that right? We can just lob it straight in. Now, what about the next answer we're looking for is YZ. How would you do YZ, everybody? YZ. Yes, sir. I haven't gone that far yet. Just give me a minute. Give me a minute. I'll be with you in a second, okay? What's next one? YZ? So what you call Y? X1, Y1, Z? 2, Y2, yeah. Now what? 1 take away. Minus minus 1. And what's minus minus 1? Plus 1. So 1 plus 1, yeah. Squared. And then what's the next one?
8 minus 6.
Yeah. Squared. What's the answer for that? Is it? Root A? I think the answer is root A. And the answer for root A is 2 root 2.
Yeah, 2 root 2.
Yeah, root 8 is 2 root 2. Everybody happy with 2 root 2 for that one? Put in the calculator, you get 2 root 2. And finally, I'm going to get the answer for XZ. So what's XZ? Anybody? Wrote them out again. Okay, 1 minus 2 squared, yeah. And after that? 8 minus 3 squared. It's going to be 1 plus 5 root 26, really? Is it root 26? Yeah. I think these are easy enough, aren't they? Just do the same thing over and over again. 8 take away 3 squared. Oh, I made a mistake there. Didn't I have that inside the squared sign? Root 26, yeah, I was right. Now, have I completed the question to its entirety? No. I have to get root 26 and I need to square it. And what do I also have to do? I have to get 3 root 2. Square it. I have to get 2 root 2. Square them all together. So I think I'm going to get 18 plus A, which is 26 on the left and 26 on the right. And this verifies what I've shown, doesn't it? Everybody cool with that? Okay, let's move on. 19. Okay. I'm going to let you guys try this one on your own first. Off you go. Show you. Each box should be worth, if you have boxed copy, each box should be worth 1. That's 1 0. The next point is 6 1. 6 across, 1 up. So next point after that, 9 4. Or do I have a 9? Just about. 9 and 4. And then the last point is 4 3. All right, to me that looks like a what? Looks like a parallelogram. Okay, so there you go. All right, you should have a parallelogram drawn in a few minutes. All right, part 3, find the length of each side. So you're gonna have to use the distance formula how many times? How many times are you gonna have to use the distance formula? You're gonna have to use it 4 times. So that's your guys' practice now. You're gonna have to use that 4 times. You're gonna have to use it from 1 0 to 4 3. You're gonna have to use it from 6 1 up to 9. What's it? 9 4. Everybody cool with that? Okay. Off you go. Right, but basically, let's just call these out. Can anybody tell me what length did you get from 1 0 to 4 3? Who got 3 root 2? Mel, did you get 3 root 2 for that? Okay. What you get from 4 3 to 9 4? What do we get from 9 4 to 6 1? 3 root 2. And what do we get from 1 0 to 6 1? And what you've essentially now, does everyone understand? I'm not doing out all four formulas right now, yeah? Does everyone understand that in a parallelogram, opposite sides are the same length? Does that make sense? Two blue lines are the same and the two yellow lines are the same length. Cool with that? That also happens in rectangles, squares, and parallelograms. Everybody cool with that? Now, find the midpoint of A to C. Which one's A and which one's C? 1, 0 and 9, 4. Well, look, we might be able to do this without the midpoint formula. It might become really obvious to us. Oh, it is. It's fairly obvious, isn't it? Which one is it? Everybody happy it's 5, 2? We can use the diagram this time because we have the diagram there, don't we? Otherwise, you could use the midpoint formula. Does everybody know the midpoint formula? Yeah, you could use that if you really wanted. X1 plus X2 over 2, Y1 plus Y2 over 2. Basically, add 9 and 1 together, you get 10. 10 divided by 2, 5. And add 0 and 4 together. And then divide by 2, 5, 2. Everybody cool with that? Now, how could you show that the diagonals bisect each other? Now, here's what I mean by diagonals bisecting each other. We'll call this M. Everybody cool with that? Yeah? We could get the midpoint of B to D. And what do you think the midpoint of B to D is? It's also 5, 2. Bisect means it cuts the diagonal in half. Now, you don't have to do this, but this is what you do. I would get the length of B to M. Everybody see it? And I get the length of BM. I'd also get the length of MD. And if BM equals MD, that means that diagonal is bisected. I would then get the length of A to M. And then I get the length of M to C. And if those two lengths equal to each other, they bisect as well. And we're done. It just says, how could you? It doesn't actually ask you to do it. Does that make sense? And we're done.